really going down.
Testing.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, maybe come forward to, or like in front of. Yeah, I can see myself here, but I'm trying to figure out.
You might have to run that up. Whether or not you're. What do you do?
Testing, testing.
I know.
That's exactly what my thought was.
Okay, Jeremy, that's cute shade.
That's just made for.
That's going in your honor. Oh. That's funny.
Oh, it gets better.
What did you say? really morbid. By reason. It's not building up. Sure, yep. We did one for each. Yep.
I'm bored, but.
Don't even, if you tell them talking about it.
Yeah. Kind of terrible week. 2 months later, it's got her first quarter.
Oh man, that's ridiculous.
But I'm much more of like video games more than I like stuff like that. So playing video game related is more for
I mean,
really most of it. After surgery. You had a couple out left there.
hi, good morning.
They had one where
Oh, there's even notes.
like
All right, Daniel, I might need some tech help here. All right. Good morning, everybody. My name is Josh Cedar. I'm the new CFO. If I haven't met you, let's say hi and, catch up and all that. I think I've been getting over here as much as I can to meet with folks and everything. But so get started. Do I need to start any slides real quick, Danielle? Okay, cool. All right. So, like right now? I'll keep it. Okay, so thank you. So I need tech help. There's even a video of me right there. Did forward arrow. Down. Space bar. I tried that one. That was my go-to. Danielle, I need help. Adrian's watching me not be able to get the thing going right now. Okay. There we go. Okay. That's me. Okay. Debo and print. And then I'm done, right? So everybody's like, good. This can be done. All right. Awesome. So with that amazing start, let's go ahead and get going. So look at my notes. I really enjoy the Bible stories where Jesus interacts with people because it's through these interactions that he shows us how we should treat each other. And so today I'm going to talk about a story where Jesus hangs out with a Samaritan woman. And a ton has been done about this. And I'm not going to go into all that stuff because I was told I only have 5 minutes. So we're going to make it that way. And like I said, there's a ton of theological truth we can dig into. I'm going to focus on how Jesus tears down 3 man-made barriers that were separating him from connecting with this woman. And those barriers were the barriers of race, gender, and social status. And he tears them down. It's amazing to see that happen. So I'm going to read John 4, 7 through 5, or 7 through 15, and then go through these 3. So a woman from Samaria came to draw water, and Jesus said to her, "Give me a drink." For his disciples had gone away into the city to buy food. The Samaritan woman said to him, "How is it that you, a Jew, ask for a drink from me, a woman of Samaria?" For the Jews had no dealings with Samaritans. Jesus answered her and said, "If you knew the gift of God and who it is who is saying to you, 'Give me a drink,' you would have asked him, and he would have given you living water." The woman said to him, "Sir, you have nothing to draw water with, and the well is deep. Where do you get that living water? Are you greater than our father Jacob? He gave us the well and drank from it himself, as did his sons and his livestock." Jesus said to her, "Everyone who drinks this water will be thirsty again, but whoever drinks the water that I give him will never be thirsty again. The water that I will give him will become in him a spring of water welling up to eternal life." The woman said to him, "Sir, give me this water so that I will not be thirsty or have to come here to draw water again." So the story continues from here. But I guess I'm going to talk about these 3 simple yet profound ways that Jesus went against the social norms at the time. Jesus broke down the barrier of gender. So back in Jesus' day, men didn't talk to women unless they're married to them. And it's honestly the same way in some parts of the world even now. And that's messed up. I mean, let's just call it out for what it is. That shouldn't be that way, but it is, unfortunately. Jesus knew that everyone deserves to be heard, and he didn't let society's stupid rules about gender stop him. So he talked to her. Jesus tore down the barrier of race. Jesus was a Jew, and Jews viewed themselves as being racially better than the Samaritans and didn't interact with them. Jews would literally travel miles out of their way to avoid going through Samaria. It would add hours to their time walking, but they would add these 5-6 hours rather than just cut through and take the shortcut, which would only be an hour. Jesus did the exact opposite, and he intentionally traveled into Samaria to hang out for a couple of days. He didn't just stay, a short time to talk to her. He stuck around for 2 days, which completely threw his disciples off. It's one of the fun parts about the story there. Jesus knew that we're all made in God's image, and he went and hung out with people who were different than him, regardless of what society said he should do. And the following one, the last one, is Jesus tore down the barrier of social status. And I realize that a lot's been written about this woman, about her social status. Was she rich? Was she poor? Was she highly regarded by her village? Was she an outcast? Regardless of which it was, Jesus and her were not on the same social level. But again, he didn't let that stop him. He talked with her and found common ground so they could make that connection. So what's the takeaway? I know I was thinking, Josh, that's great. You listed 3 things, but what can I do with this? The takeaway is that all of us here have more in common than what divides us. Society tries to polarize us and make us enemies. But what Jesus shows us here in that story is that we have a lot in common. And if we just look for it, we can find that and build upon it to make a relationship. All right, let's pray and I'll get off the stage and quit messing with the slides. Lord God, thank you for bringing us here today. We're here from different parts of the world or the different parts of the country. We're here for different personal reasons. We're here to do different jobs, but we're all here to help people gain dignity through housing. That's the mission you've called us here to carry out. Thanks for bringing us here together. Bless this time we spend. And in Jesus' name, pray. Amen. All right. That's it.
I'm not sure.
Nobody's gonna remember anything else if I made music.
Excellent. Okay, we made it work. All right. Good morning. My name is Lauren. For those who don't know me, I am the homeowner services manager, but I have the distinct pleasure this morning of introducing one of our rock star partner families, Katie. Many of you have probably interacted with Katie on the job site here at the Restore, but we thought it would be a wonderful idea to have her come in and kind of speak to what the program has been like for her thus far. Wow. Is that music supposed to be playing? It's a good vibe, but no idea. Bless you. Okay. And with that, Katie, if you wouldn't mind coming up and joining us.
All right. I don't know. Hi, my name is Katie Benedict. I'm a partner family in the Habitat program this year. So this year it's just me and my daughter Madison. She is 6, gonna be 7 soon, and this will be the very first home that we've ever lived in together. I'm very excited and very grateful that I got accepted into the program. We're talking about next year how we get to decorate for Halloween and Christmas, and just having a stable and a safe place for my daughter and I to live is, I can't put into words what that's going to be for us. And I've loved working and learning about building homes. I've done all of my construction hours so far, and thank you. And I've learned a lot about housing. I had no idea before, and I've learned a lot with working with the tools, and everybody on the construction team, from the volunteers and the corporate volunteers and the staff have all been so kind, and it's been really great getting to know them and building connections with them and learning about them personally and sharing a bit of my story with them as well. I've met a lot of the other partner families as well in the classes. We just finished our financial classes yesterday. And I know who my neighbor is going to be, and I'm very excited, and just building relationships and friendships with all these people and finding common ground and looking for that common ground that we just talked about in the devotion, and building relationships with people has just been a really great blessing. I'm trying to think what else would and Lauren and Andrew have been really great outside of the program, just supportive and asking about how my daughter's doing, how her school's going, how's work going. I'm just really excited, and I can't wait till the spring when we start building a home. I've done one shift here at the Restore. It was 3 hours and I did dusting the whole time, but it was really nice. And the staff that I did meet there were really kind. I've never been here before, but it was really cool to see all of the furniture and all the items you have here. It makes me want to shop here for my future house. I'm just really grateful for the Habitat program. I've shared some of my journey on social media with some of my friends, and they're all very proud and grateful that this program exists and that my daughter and I get to participate in it. So sharing that with other people and like letting other people know, hey, like, maybe you can apply next year when this opens up. I know some people who could really benefit from it as well. Um, I didn't even really know that this existed. And I'm just very, very grateful to be a part of it.
Thank you, Katie. If you have not met Katie yet, she is a ray of sunshine. So please stop by. She may be taking off here. I don't know if she needs to stay for the whole meeting. But if you see her on the job site, because I'm sure she'll be back, or in the restore, please stop by and say hi. All right. And here's Jeremy.
Katie, thank you. You are an inspiration to all of us. So thanks. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what we do, who we are, right? So we always start with our core values. This is who we are. This is our DNA as an organization. And we are faithful, right? We do the right thing. And this is anchored, this is rooted in Habitat's foundation of Christian faith, right? And it goes way beyond just integrity, right? That's like a pay to play type of thing for every organization. We have to have integrity. But for us, it goes beyond that. It's rooted in our Christian faith. And we're talking about battling injustice and advocating for affordable housing, right? There are systems in our society that we're trying to break down so that we can have access to affordable housing, doing the right thing. And I think it also involves an element of consistency. And I think a great example of faithful consistency is our crew leads and our legacy volunteers. And we have some of you guys here today. You guys show up consistently and pour yourselves out for this mission. That's faithfulness. That's doing the right thing. We're also sustainable. We rigorously defend our resources. And so we're talking about long-term stewardship, right? So we want to operate in a way that we always have enough. We never run out of resources. And in my mind, there's a responsibility piece, a duty piece for not just the here and now, but also for the future. And I think a great example of sustainability for us is what we've done with our mortgage strategy. It was crazy for us who are really good at running a restore and we're really good at building homes, but then we would hire social workers and train them to be bankers, right? Crazy. So one of the things that we've done is we've shifted, and now we have banks that are originating our mortgages. And that allows us to be more sustainable from the standpoint of we don't have to wait to recoup our investment over 30 years. We can get that investment back at close and reinvest it in the next project. So that's going to help us be sustainable. We're going to rigorously defend our resources. We're also thoughtful, right? We're going to carefully consider the interests of others. And here we're really talking about intentionality. We want to be intentional. We want to think and feel with intention so that we can walk humbly, we can be of service to others. I spent the weekend with a group of high school students from Homestead building a house on Smith Street. We did all the painting and flooring. And a great example of thoughtfulness was our partner family, Sierra, who's going to live in that house. She stopped in and had goodie bags for all of the students. So she had to have thought and intention and go out and buy these bags, and she filled them with candy, which high school kids love, right? But she didn't stop there. She sat down with her family and they wrote personal thank you notes and put them in every bag. They also put a little prayer in every bag. That is thoughtful, right? That is carefully considering the interests of others. Intentional. Our intentions matter. So we're thoughtful, we're collaborative. We view partnerships as our great multiplier. We can do more together. That's the simple fact of the matter. I spent Friday, the whole day on Friday, basically, with 4 other organizations in Fort Wayne that we're all trying to work on this issue of housing. And I think together we are going to be able to make more of an impact. And we do that not just externally, but we also do that collaboration internally as we work across departments to help serve the communities. Our last core value, the last piece that makes up who we are, is this transformational piece. And we're talking about positive and lasting change, right? We believe at Habitat that everybody has something to give and everybody has something to receive. And when we do that with faithfulness, sustainability, thoughtfulness, and collaborative nature, we're going to make social change. We're going to make spiritual change, economic change, right? And Katie is a great example of that. Her and her daughter, Madison, their life is forever going to be positively changed and impacted. So that's what we're about. That's our DNA. That's what makes us up. And our mission is the same. That has never changed. We seek to put God's love into action, bringing people together to build homes, communities, and hope. So at the core, what our core focus, our passion, our purpose, we're all about affordable housing, right? At the core, that's what we're all about. Whether it's the construction side, whether it's the restore, whether it's our development team, we're all about affordable housing. And one of the things that makes us unique is we bring people together to do this good work, right? We don't just do it alone. We're going to engage volunteers. We're going to engage families. We're going to do this work together. So we have been talking for 4 years. The goal, the target has been to build 20 homes a year. And we're there. We are building 20 homes this year, and that's the most we've ever built in our history. So now we're going to start spending this next year trying to look at what's the next goal, right? We're going to continue to do 20 homes. We're going to continue to do those really well, but we really need to take a look and say, what's our 10-year, maybe it's only 5, but what's our growth strategy? What's next for us at Habitat? So that's one of the goals this year, is to start to put that into place. And then another one of our goals for this year is to secure land for our build seasons through 2026. We want to make sure that we're constantly working ahead. And then with bringing Haley up to the director of development, we're going to continue to develop our fundraising system. And this is pretty detailed. Here are all the actions and behaviors that we need to do on a daily, weekly, monthly basis so that we can raise the funds that we need to sustainably build the amount of homes that we need to build. And so we're going to continue to develop that plan and be on schedule with all the activities and the funds that we're raising. So that's kind of what we're going after this year. And we like to break that down and say, okay, this quarter as an organization, what are we going to focus on? What are our rocks? What are our big goals? And so we know that one of the big things we have to do is we have to hire staff here at the Restore. You guys have been working lean and pushing hard for way too long. And it's a really tough labor market. So we are trying every strategy we can think of to get people in the door to help relieve you. And then I think what's going to happen is we're going to be collaboration, right? We're going to be able to do more when we get the right team together and we know it's a need. So we're pushing hard to hire some staff here at the Restore. We're also going to do a strategic planning process with some folks from the board. And so we need to get this quarter, we need to kind of get that solidified, scheduled, get that moving forward. We're going to have some conversations in Huntington and Wells County just to figure out what land is available and have some strategies on where we can build in those counties. And Josh has been working on a sustainability model. So a little bit about that is we just want to make sure we know all of our numbers. We want to know if we build an extra one house, what are the resources that we need to do that? And we're building 20 homes. So what happens if we build 25? What resources do we need? What happens if we build 30? What resources do we need? We just want to have a really good idea of what that model looks like and how we can build homes sustainably. So it's really knowing our numbers. And then this quarter, we're also going to test and refine the fundraising system that Haley's put in place. And we're going to put together and this is pretty exciting, we're going to put together our build season for next year and for the next 2 years, if we can. We've never done that consistently. right? To be able to work that far ahead and to have the land in hand so that we can work that far ahead is a huge win for us. So that's where we're focused. Our focus is this quarter. Always staying true to who we are and always staying true to what we do. With that, I'll have Haley come up and talk a little bit about what was going on with her team.
Good morning, everyone. All right, so it's been a busy quarter for the development team. We had the opportunity to be involved in 3 different golf outings, and 2 of them benefited Habitat. And so between the Habitat golf outing and then the Jack Laurie golf outing, we were able to raise over $78,000, which is pretty huge. And the Jack Laurie golf outing typically brought in around 15,000, and this year they brought in 27,000. So they used collaboration. They brought in some new supporters, and we have the privilege to be in attendance at that outing and talk with all of them and create those connections. So excited for what's to come with Jack Laurie. We also had 5 panel builds, which brought in $75,000. So we had Fort Wayne Metals, ProFed, Three Rivers, Bendix, and Huntington. And we had 320 volunteers just from all of those panel builds. Fort Wayne Metals this year, it was the first time that we actually did 2 homes in one day. So that was really exciting to be a part of. And then ProFed and Three Rivers have already confirmed their partnerships and panel builds for the 2024 build season. So we're moving right along there. Some fundraising updates. So where we're at financially, $491,000. So we're 23% towards our fiscal year goal within the first quarter. We want to be at just over 2.1 million. So we've got quite a ways to go. But it was a huge quarter for grants. So grants alone brought in $295,000. So we really Stacy's been doing a really great job. She submitted for some grants that we had never been a part of before. The Glaze Foundation, so Scott Glaze, he came through and gave $150,000 towards our Huntington homes. So both of our homes in Huntington have been fully funded through that. So yes, great job, Stacy. So where do we plan to be from here? So as Jeremy said, a huge rock for us is developing and refining that fundraising system. So we've really broken out what it looks like each quarter. Where do we need to be for the budget? What are those behaviors that our team members need to be doing? Refining, getting more detailed on our scorecard items. We're going to be doing a really huge push for individual donors. So there has been a little bit of transition. Corporate donors have brought in quite a bit of money in the past, and we have those that are just continuously faithful to us. But it's time to get some more people involved in Habitat and to share the good work that we're doing. So we're really going to focus on individuals this next quarter. And then some additional updates. So I have some photos. It's been pretty busy. Mara's done a ton of different kinds of conferences. Danielle and Mari got to go together to the large Restore Symposium and brought back some really great nuggets from there. Some of the people from our admin team got to go down to the Indiana and Kentucky State Conference. And that was really great to just be around other habitats. And as Jeremy mentioned, we did our first ever student build. So this was in partnership with Homestead primarily. We did have some students from Bishop Dwenger that joined us as well. And this project was brought on from Edie Laurie, so the daughter of John Laurie, owner of Jack Laurie Flooring. She had done a project in Mexico building homes and wanted to help locally. And so with the help of John, Christine Lyons, and Edie, we came up with this Habitat student build. And in 3 days, they primed, painted, and laid the LVP in one of the homes for Sierra. So we had over 35 students that came out. Some came out for multiple shifts. They came out on Friday and really enjoyed the opportunity. So came out for a couple of other options. And it was just really encouraging to be a part of something new with Habitat, investing in students in our community. And then Over the last quarter, we've had 585 volunteers between Restore, Construction, Panel Builds, Lunch, and Huntington. 715 crew lead hours. So when we talk about how our crew leads are faithful, you really are. You keep us going. So thank you guys. We've had our student build, the state conference, and then the large Restore symposium. So we are done with panel builds for the year. So hooray. And this next quarter, it's just prepping for the end of the year campaign and how to raise the most money. All right, Nathan.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Yeah, this last quarter has been busy around the Restore here. We've been doing some big stuff. One of the things I really want to celebrate is the opportunity to get Beth and Cheyenne down to Restore University in Atlanta. Investing in staff development. That Restore University program is designed for new leaders at Restores to equip them with some of the tools and resources on how to manage the day-to-day as well as emerging trends for Restores. So really enjoyed the fact that they got to go down there, and I'm looking forward to the implementation of a lot of the ideas from there. So that's huge. Another big thing, thrift cart, not just for donation scheduling, but our point of sale system. It changes fundamentally how we operate our business. Thrift cart was originally designed by a group of staff from a Restore down in Wake County. And it was the first kind of point of sale software designed to run a thrift store. So it's very tailored to the needs of a thrift store and allows us to do more than just a standard off the shelf product designed for the retail market. Of course, it's changing a lot of what we're used to, and it's taken a lot to get us to where we were just this past weekend with going live finally with the point of sale part of it. There's a lot more to go on that. So stay tuned on what that looks like. And another biggie from this past quarter is sales training. We had an opportunity to go through with about 5 of our team members and give some real heavy investment on some training, as well as doing some staff-wide trainings on sales. So very exciting to see that training piece implemented and going through and seeing some of the creative ideas that our team has come up after receiving that. Looking forward, big thing for me is the thrift cart inventory module for pricing, trying to figure out how we can successfully apply that to how we handle our day-to-day. We handle so many pieces, and pricing is a huge part of that. There's some elements in thrift cart that are going to let us go through and manage our inventory a little bit better, and we're going to be exploring that. The other thing is staffing. We are excited to fill in the remaining open seats, and we're going to be working hard on that. And then we seek to continue with the ongoing training. We're going to try to get through 8 training sessions with the management team and share the content with everybody on what that looks like. So that's what we've got going on here this next quarter. With that, turn it over.
All right. Good morning again. So lots of good stuff as always with our partner families. So at this moment, we have 49 partner families who are actively working towards owning their own home. So right now we have 1 left from the July 2021 cohort, and she is going to be purchasing the house at 2421 Oliver. That's the next house that's going to be ready. Or is it 2412? 2412, sorry. There's a lot of numbers. So she's the next house that's getting ready to be mortgaged. So we're really excited for that. We still have 25 families from the July 2022 cohort. And we anticipate that by the end of this build season, all of those families will be attached to a home that will be built this build season. That is huge. So thank you to everyone who made that possible. So we have our 4 families for our Huntington cohorts. 2 will be building their houses this build season and 2 next build season. And then we took on 19 families for the June 2023 cohort. What is really exciting to me is that we are looking at accepting as many families as we can into the program and building homes for them. This past year, I'm sure everyone remembers, we had to turn away 17 families. That was heartbreaking, I think, for everyone to know that the need is out there, but we can't fulfill it yet. I would just like to say, Katie, who was here a few minutes ago, she was on the bubble. So she was on the bubble of possibly not getting into the program because we just didn't have enough space. So if you think that Katie is amazing, and I do, the other 17 families, they were equally as amazing. So it's something that I know it seems really daunting that we're looking at building more and more homes, but the need is there, and these amazing families are going to need that opportunity. So we appreciate all the hard work you're doing to further this mission. All right, so we have some upcoming closings. We have 7 closings coming up here pretty soon. And out of those 7 people who will be closing, we have 13 children who will be gaining their own bedroom. 13 kids. 13 kids will have their own backyard to play in when they've never had a backyard to play in. 13 children whose lives are going to be changed exponentially by this small, in our minds, maybe a small thing. This is going to create that long-lasting generational change where kids will go, I know exactly where I'm going on Thanksgiving. I'm going to mom's house, and I know exactly where mom's house is, and no one's going to take that from them. So again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you all for all the hard work that you do to make this possible. And next up, we have Jeff.
All right, before I start, I'd like to recognize one of our team members, and he may shy away from it, but got to recognize our construction coordinator, Mike Cooker, for his, I believe it's 5 years for being on staff. So thank you, but that goes far beyond that with other volunteers. So thank you, Mike. I had on my calendar for today, but then I was told maybe yesterday. So yesterday, today, do you even remember? All right. So it's today. But I do want to call for thoughtful and sustainable. I got to share a little story on Mike. So he'll typically, before it goes to Josh in our accounting department, he'll look at all of our invoices, and between he and I, we always find a few mistakes, whatever's happening. But one of them in particular, I call him our bulldog in the for fighting for us, because it was a electrical bill that came in, and there was a random spike in the power that was on that house, and we don't really know, but I think how many phone calls, maybe at least half a dozen at a minimum, of what he did back and forth going, and you can imagine going to a call center, being placed on hold and having to tell your story over and over again. While unfortunately we didn't get the results we wanted to, but he's fighting for every dollar that gets paid out. And so I just want to thank you, because similar to the Restore, you guys are fighting for every product that's here to get the most value out of it. We're doing the same on the job site. We're doing the same in homeowner service development. So every dollar is important. So it's sustainability and thoughtfulness. So Mike, I thank you for that. And also just keeping all of us on track. I know our department would not be what it is without you kind of keeping us through the highs and the lows. So thank you once again. That was bonus material. Yeah, going last, everybody kind of steals my thunder. Haley already touched base on the panel builds, but that's collaboration. There were 5 different companies that we got to be on their parking lot or in their facility, working alongside, engaging them, hopefully recruiting them as volunteers at some other time. And I do also want the collaboration with, we mentioned Homestead once again, that's been mentioned, but over the course of this quarter, I mean, I didn't get to speak at the last quarter release, so it's almost been half a year, but we actively are still continuing to get involved with the New Tech Academy, which is out of Wayne. So we're partnering with the high school students, and actually there's a lot of engagement there that through conversations, there's some families, students that are possibly going to try to get their parents to apply to the program. So word of mouth there. We had the Boys and Girls Club come out for a tour to kind of see what the different stages of the houses are, Homestead, and then trying to think of, Fort Wayne Career Academy. Once again, they're doing 2 houses, kind of 1.5 houses for us. But yeah, we're going far beyond just our standard volunteers. The community is coming to us to ask what we're doing, how we're doing it, educational experiences. And so no different. I'm sure there's plenty of groups coming in to look at the restore and seeing what you guys are doing. So you're doing an awesome thing. So but jumping back to this, yeah, we are very close to getting all of our foundations in the ground. Moving forward, 3 homes have already been completed for the season. We're actively working in Huntington with drywall stages. And that land inventory bank, we've requested 46 lots that could be potentially 38 homes for be about 25 through 27. So that means just more lots that we're going to obtain and have just solidify our future in the Renaissance Point area. So for this quarter, we're going to complete 16 of the 20 homes, get them into siding, and then the other 4 remain. We have a partnership with Lancia, so they're taking care of that. Fort Wayne Trades is doing some, and then we're going to outsource some other materials there. And as we talked about moving in the next season, Gary, our project manager, is working on putting the slabs in for next season so that we're already ready to get started pretty quickly once we start framing. And that could potentially push us into that 20 plus homes in one form or fashion, whether it's volunteer related or other means. And then, yeah, by end of January, we'll complete another 6 homes. So that will be including the 2 in Huntington, along with additional 4 here. So getting those homes in, ready for homeowner services. And yeah, another thing is every year we've been implementing a different change on the exterior elevations of our house. We've added shutters, we've added window panes and or grids in the windows. Shake, it's a different type of siding. If any of your staff has been out there for volunteers, you guys done siding, you've seen that. And then we're looking at different roof lines, different ways to change up the front porches, because we know there's going to be a street on Lily that we have trouble with numbers now. We're going to possibly have about 20 some homes along one street between Creighton and Pontiac. So just looking for different ways. We always love input, whether it's a financial feasible way to do it. We'll always take that into consideration. But once again, it was great to have the restore out, come out, and we're always looking for groups that could come out and help us out. So we've had a great push in the construction department, and looking forward to finishing this season strong. So that is the end of my part, and we're going to go into Q&A or just wrap it up with Jeremy.
So I do want to provide the opportunity if there's any questions. We got through this in a timely fashion today, so that's good job, everybody. But any questions, anything on your minds you want to talk about? All right. Well, thank you to everybody online, and with that, we will conclude. So thank you. I don't know how to stop this. Just looks different on yours.
It does. I think maybe, but I can't find my mouse. There we go. There we go.